Hey, welcome back to Money Mindset TV. Before we dive in, I need you to do something for me. Take a guess. What percentage of Americans right now in 2026 cannot cover a $1,000 emergency without going into debt? I'm going to tell you the answer in about 2 minutes, and I promise it's going to shock you. But here's the real question. Are you one of them? And more importantly, do you know why? Let me set the scene. We're in July 2026. The S&P 500 just crossed $751. The Dow is up over 4% this month. And on the surface, everything looks good. Stock prices are climbing, the market feels strong, unemployment is low. But there's a massive disconnect happening right now that nobody's talking about, and it's destroying the middle class from the inside out. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is math. And in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what's happening, why it's happening, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it starting today. Let's start with the first brutal trap. Wage stagnation meets the cost of living explosion. Here's what's wild. If you're making $75,000 a year in 2026, your salary has probably only gone up maybe 10 to 15% since 2020. That sounds decent, right? But here's the kick in the teeth. Your cost of living has gone up significantly more. Mortgage rates are hovering around 6.8 to 7.2% right now, which is insane if you're trying to buy. Rent has exploded in major cities. Childcare costs are out of control. Healthcare premiums keep climbing. So your salary went up 10%, but your actual expenses went up 20, 25, sometimes 30%. That's the wage stagnation trap, and most people don't even realize it's happening because the number on their paycheck looks better. But it gets worse. This is where trap number 2 comes in. Inflation is silently destroying your actual purchasing power, and most people are completely blind to it. The Federal Reserve's higher for longer interest rate policy throughout 2025 and into 2026 was supposed to cool inflation, and yeah, headline inflation numbers look better than they did in 2024. But here's what nobody's telling you. If you're holding cash, if you're saving money in a regular savings account earning maybe 0.5% interest, you're actually losing money every single month in real terms. That's not pessimism, that's basic math. Your money is worth less next month than it is today. And while the S&P 500 is up, gold is actually down 3.8% this month, which tells you people are spooked about something. They're shifting from safe haven assets into risk assets, which historically happens right before volatility. Now let's talk about trap number 3, and this one affects millions of people, the housing market trap. For decades, the middle-class narrative was simple. Get a good job, buy a house, build equity, get rich. That playbook is broken now in 2026. Here's why. The median home price in most major metropolitan areas has more than doubled since 2015, but wages haven't. So if you wanted to buy a home 10 years ago, you needed to make maybe 3.5 times the home price per year. Today, try 5 to 6 times. That's before you even talk about the down payment gap. 30% of Americans are now renting well into their 30s and 40s because they literally cannot save for a down payment before housing costs destroy their ability to save. And those who did buy in the last 3 years? Many of them locked in higher mortgage rates and are now stuck. The housing market isn't just a wealth builder anymore. For the middle class, it's a wealth trap. Trap number 4 is where most people completely miss the boat. The single income stream myth. This one's critical because it's 2026, and the economy is fundamentally different than it was 10 years ago. If you have one job, you are incredibly vulnerable. Your employer could restructure. Your industry could shift. You could get replaced by automation or AI, which, let's be honest, is happening faster than anyone anticipated. But here's what's wild. The wealthy stopped relying on single income streams decades ago. They have multiple revenue streams. They have side businesses. They have investments. They have rental income. They have passive income from digital products or affiliate relationships. The middle class is still operating on the 1980s playbook of get a job, work for 40 years, retire. That's not a plan anymore. That's a vulnerability. And I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying this because if you're watching this, and you don't have at least one side income stream generating money right now, you're falling further behind every single month. But the fifth trap might be the most vicious of all: compound interest working against you instead of for you. Here's the scenario: you have credit card debt. Maybe it's 5,000, maybe it's 15,000. The average credit card interest rate in 2026 is somewhere around 22 to 24%. It's actually gone up. You make minimum payments. What happens? Your debt doesn't really go down. The interest compounds faster than you can pay it off. You end up paying 3 or 4 times what you originally borrowed just in interest. Meanwhile, that same compound interest that's destroying your debt could be building your wealth if you had it working the other direction. But most of the middle class is upside down on this equation. They're paying compound interest instead of earning it. That's the trap. So let's talk about what actually works in 2026. Here's the path forward. First, you need to acknowledge that your old playbook is broken. One income stream is not enough. Period. I don't care how good your job is. Start with a side income. It doesn't have to be complicated. It could be freelancing on platforms like Upwork if you have a skill. It could be e-commerce. It could be digital products. It could be consulting in your field. The point is, you need another revenue stream generating money while you sleep or while you're doing something else. Even if it starts with just $500 or $1,000 a month, that changes everything. Second, you need to optimize where your money is actually going. Stop holding cash in regular savings accounts. Open a high-yield savings account. There are several platforms offering 4.5 to 5% APY right now. That's not going to make you rich, but it's better than losing money to inflation. Better yet, start investing in index funds. The S&P 500 is up over the long term. NASDAQ is up. Yes, there are monthly fluctuations, but the trend is your friend over time. A simple portfolio of a low-cost S&P 500 ETF or total market fund, starting with whatever you can afford, even $100 a month, will compound into serious wealth over 10, 15, 20 years. Third, attack your debt aggressively. If you have high-interest debt like credit cards, that's your number one financial priority right now. Today. Not investing, not buying real estate, paying that off. Why? Because paying off a credit card at 22% is guaranteed return on your money. That's better than almost any investment you can make. Once you're debt-free, that money can actually start building wealth instead of going to the banks. Fourth, think about real estate differently. I know the traditional playbook is broken, but that doesn't mean real estate is off the table. It just means you need to be smarter about it. House hacking is exploding in 2026. Buy a duplex, triplex, or quad, live in one unit, rent out the others, and let tenants pay down your mortgage. REITs are another angle if you don't want to be a landlord. They're investable through any brokerage account. You get real estate exposure with liquidity and no headaches. And here's the thing nobody wants to hear. It's not just about income or investing. It's about your money mindset. The middle class is dying because people are operating from a scarcity mindset. They see rich people and think it's impossible. They see their debt and feel paralyzed. They see the market going up and think they can't participate. That's where everything stops. The wealthy operate from an abundance mindset. They see opportunities. They see that if they're making $100,000, they can make $120,000. If they're making $500,000, they can make $700,000. They see that debt is a tool, not a life sentence. They see that the market is a vehicle, not a casino. Here's what you need to do starting today. 1. Acknowledge that the old middle-class playbook doesn't work anymore. 2. Commit to building at least one additional income stream in the next 90 days. 3. Move any cash savings you have to a high-yield account or start investing systematically into index funds. 4. If you have high-interest debt, create an aggressive payoff plan. 5. Start reading, learning, investing time in your financial education. Watch videos on investing. Read books about building wealth. Listen to podcasts. Surround yourself with people and content that's pushing you toward abundance instead of keeping you stuck. The middle class isn't dying because of bad luck. It's dying because the economy changed, but people's strategies didn't. The good news? You're watching this right now, which means you're already ahead of most people. You're aware. You're seeking solutions. That awareness is literally the first step toward breaking free from these traps. So here's what I need from you. First, smash that subscribe button. We're dropping videos like this every single week. Real, practical, actionable financial advice grounded in what's actually happening in 2026, not what happened 5 years ago. Second, comment below and tell me which one of these 5 traps you're currently stuck in. Which one resonates the most? And more importantly, tell me what you're going to do about it. Are you going to start a side hustle? Are you going to move your savings? Are you going to attack your debt? I read every comment and I want to know what strategy you're going to implement. And if you found this valuable, share it with someone you care about. Someone in your life is probably struggling with this right now and doesn't even know why. Help them see it. That's it. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.